They met in a quiet corner of the city where laughter felt innocent and promises felt easy. What began as casual conversation slowly turned into something sacred. They learned each other's fears, dreams, and silences. Love grew without permission, steady and deep, until it felt impossible to imagine a future without one another. They planned small things first: walks, shared meals, whispered hopes, then larger dreams. Marriage became a word they said softly, carefully, like something fragile. But love, as powerful as it was, lived between two worlds that refused to meet. Their fates were different, each shaped by family, history, and devotion. At first, they believed love would bridge the gap. Families soon noticed. Questions turned into warnings. Gentle advice hardened into firm refusals. They were told love was not enough, that faith was eternal while romance faded. Every conversation became a test of loyalty, not to each other, but to belief. They tried to compromise, to pray separately yet love together, but the weight grew heavier. Still, they held on. They believed their bond was stronger than doctrine. They believed time would soften hearts. On quiet nights, they promised forever, even as doubt crept in. What they didn't know was that love can survive distance, hardship, even pain, but sometimes it cannot survive being asked to choose between the heart and heaven. The end did not come suddenly. It arrived slowly, through exhaustion. Endless arguments. Silent tears. Prayers that asked for guidance but received only conflict. Each tried to be strong for the other, but strength became a burden. One morning, they sat facing each other, hands no longer touching. Words failed. The truth stood between them, heavy and unavoidable. To stay together meant losing family, identity, and faith. To separate meant losing each other. Love demanded sacrifice, but neither wanted the other to live with regret. They chose faith. Not because love was weak, but because belief had shaped them long before they met. The goodbye was quiet. No shouting. No anger. Just tears that refused to stop and a final embrace that felt like mourning. Time moved forward, cruelly indifferent. They married others chosen by approval, not passion. From a distance, their lives looked complete. Inside, something remained unfinished. Sometimes, in crowded rooms or during prayers, their minds wandered to what could have been. Years later, they crossed paths by chance. Older, calmer, still careful. Their eyes met, and in that moment, everything returned: love, loss, and acceptance. They smiled politely, spoke briefly, and walked away in opposite directions. They did not marry each other, but they loved deeply. And sometimes, the greatest tragedy is not loving someone, but loving them enough to let them go.